name of the movie is War Horse, and in this movie, you guys are kind of dropped into these amazing, either about to be war-torn or war-torn environments. And what's amazing about them is they're so expansive and real. But I mean, I imagine you can't just drive around a corner and find these war battle landscapes. So, or how real was it?
Well, we shot on all of the cavalry stuff, and a lot of the other stuff as well was shot on the Duke of Wellington's estate, which was a nice sort of historical coincidence, because Wellington had so much to do with the cavalry, and a lot of the cavalry stables were all there, and it felt as real as it could possibly feel on a film set, in terms of the number of horses we shot with, and the stampede, which Tom will.
Well, yeah, it was amazing, truly, because we were on one of the fields in the Duke of Wellington's estate, which is 7,000 acres of private land, only about an hour and a half from London. Wow. So it was completely quiet. We weren't under any flight paths or anything like that, and so we didn't have to stop for aeroplanes, and there was no sort of traffic noise. So it really felt like. But
you had like 100 horses, so I imagine that's not the quietest.
I think we had 200.
We had 120, and we'd been trained very well to do this thing. And my first day on the film was the cavalry charge, up front and center of it, really. And you've got 120 horses in formation, galloping across 400 yards of open field towards a German camp that's been built to every last detail by Rick Carter in his art department. And everything was real. I mean, it was the thunder. That's the thing, is I can't really stress enough is the thunder, the noise of those hooves.
Sure. Oh
480 or whatever that is, going at full tilt across a field. It was mind blowing, and I'll never forget it in my life.
And then you were in the middle of an actual battle, right?
True. Yeah. No Man's Land was dead real.
And they built that.
They built it from through 2 acres. They churned over, and where we were, we could see the German trench, and it was so genuinely real. Because as you stand down the trench, you look down from where I am, and I look either way, and there's 56 men either side of me, sort of lining the trenches. And there's not the distance from me to you. It's incredibly tight down there. And then as you step up onto that, there's just this expanse. And
helped put you in the mindset.
It helped put me in the mindset. But what was so beautiful about it was the detail, that it looked like a place that had existed, that had just been torn to shreds.
And for me, it's like thinking about people actually working with a legendary filmmaker like Steven Spielberg. I can't fathom it. So I'm kind of wondering what you think from your experience working with him, why he's been so successful all these years, and why he's such a staple of American filmmaking.
Because he's a sort of archetypal imagination. I think I think he's an intellectual, and he knows his history, but he has this way of universalizing stories and making them. And I think in this, I feel like it's his Western. I don't know if he'd agree with that. And I think what you've got there are very classical storytelling structures. It's like an Odyssey, and he sympathizes with the little guy or the other guy, the outsider. It's always looking at the adult world and its insanity from another point of view.
Yeah, he understands the human condition almost immaculately.
It always helps.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, as a storyteller.
I think he's very honest. I think there's an astonishing level of honesty within him still. And, someone of his stature now, you'd almost forgive him if he had lost touch with it. But he's still very, very honest and true to himself as an artist,